we're in a complicated space. Commercial's complicated. It's not the same as retail. Retail is complicated enough, but then add into it that our product is opaque most of the time.
So are we talking 2 guns, not 1?
Or maybe 2 ends on the gun. I don't know. That's like, so in kind of thinking about how much more complicated this is, if you think about accessories and how you can kind of look at how you could add on accessories, Butch, like you said, it's like by need, right? How do we communicate and educate buyers so to help them with what they need, to help them find it quickly, to respond quickly, to walk them through further needs when there's this huge gap of time it takes to build something, understanding what's even available today, and the diversity of their needs. It's complicated. So I wanted to set a high standard and a high goal. Some of you, I appreciate in the audience, have come because you know me and you've known 7 years that we've been working on helping to solve the problem of the opacity in this industry. What is the vehicle? What has it become? And where is it? Right? Because what makes it even more complicated when you look at the need, you asked about the cycle, how long it takes. You're right. I need it today. These small vocational businesses are not planning 6 months in advance. They're not planning 3 months in advance, are they? They are waking up in the morning and going and trying to start their truck or their van, or they're waking up in the morning and they're getting an opportunity to grow their business by adding someone. And when they add someone to do the work, what do they need? A truck. So it's a very complex environment. I happen to really love it. I truly love business to business. To me, that need and that value from delivering for that need is more rewarding than whether my car's pink or purple, right? So what I get excited about is helping the end customer find the right thing and help the dealer themselves serve their customers. To me, the most important things that we can do for our customers is that we can show them what the vehicle became, and we can show them the richness of that product and educate them on what it is and why it's important to them. And so over time, I've recognized that, and some of you even commented on this, that we've not developed a buyer-centric environment in this space. It's been struggling, right, because of technology, but it also struggles because in the new world, that's what people expect. They expect it to be about what they need. The response rate needs to be good. You're 56%. We constantly call people and say, why have you not picked up this lead and responded to someone? We have a team of people that we don't quite call them nags, but they get pretty close to that, right? So I'm setting high standards for what I expect this industry to grow into because it's so important. It's so important for the buyers. So now I'm going to just show you, and like I said, I hadn't really thought about sharing this with you, but we just launched this in November. This is the first national marketplace that is focused on the use of the vehicle, focused on the buyer. There are utility vans, cargo vans, upfit cargo vans, box vans, and service trucks on the plumber page because those are the vehicles that a plumber wants. Why should they have to go and look at a lot of other things? And guess what? Let's also help them understand what the essentials are for every plumber's work vehicle. So what drove us to do this is we started testing online and said best plumber's truck in Google search. The first thing that came back was a blog from 2011, and the thing that came back after that was from 2007. So, it's really funny to be talking about this because truly my goal in this meeting and presenting the technologies that exist around us and trying to, charge everybody up that this is a doable thing, that you need to take control. That crawl, walk, run, that's fine, but you need to decide that you're going to do that. And so actually, I'm really happy to share with you that we're helping our dealers through driving these types of very targeted leads to them on our platform. But mostly, again, I just wanted to make sure that as an industry, we realize that we owe it to our customers to figure out ways to help them find what they need. And I have a little piece of data here. 80% of the GDP is either dependent on or touched by the work truck industry, by the vocational activities and the trucks. 80% of our GDP. So this is a wonderful industry, and I really appreciate that you guys are curious and interested in how to help an industry that often is being run like it's still in the 60s to come into the new world of digital channels. And so with that, I will open it up to questions and see who, yes?
Two things. So as a client of yours, which I am, we're on this platform, right?
You absolutely are.
It's been a couple months. I got sent the link and I looked at that great, but quite honestly, I forgot about it ever since.
Well,
how's it work? I mean, what are you finding?
I love the question.
Leads from this
Go right into your platform.
go right into the normal lead generating
Yeah.
on the Work Truck Solutions site?
Exactly. At no charge.
Perfect, thank you. The main reason I'm on this on Work Truck Solutions is what you showed, where you have the whole upfit, description,
Yeah.
logo. I mean, it's beautiful. Manufacturers don't do that, so it's nice to have that. I'm curious, when you talk about branding, if you've done any research, the difference, so we're a big retail Ford store, we're the biggest one in the Twin Cities market. So we have a big presence there. We're not the biggest commercial, getting there, but we're not. So we're a one-price store on the retail side, and I'm a one-price store on the commercial side. It's a little bit more difficult because of fleets, though, things get complicated.
Right. It's complicated.
It's complicated.
We all agree it's complicated.
It's complicated. So, you look at what motivates, what brand factors motivate the retail customer versus brand factors motivate
Right.
a commercial customer. In my store, we focus on speed of transaction.
Okay?
And we're in a separate building, commercial, and kind of, for John's understanding, we look at it and we're focused on, you need a truck, here it is, we'll get you in and out. And there are no absolutes in the business, but 80-20 usually works in about anything in life.
Right.
80% of these commercial customers, buy more than one vehicle a year. So they know F&I products, and they know, you talk about financing. Well, yeah, my bank's at 3.5. You can't beat that. Don't bother. If you can beat it, or you think you can, I'll send you a credit app. Great. Extended warranties, gotta have them. Absolutely not gonna have one. They're
Right.
80%. Of course, there's 20% that are like, maybe I do it. But so they're a lot more educated. And to me, it's been speed of transaction. It's kind of been something I've focused on. What are you finding, for commercial customers building a brand? What should we look at that is different than the retail customer?
So two things I think are really, really important. When I started, the one thing that shocked me was that in a commercial operation, the targeting to the customer was so, I'll just say it, poorly done, that a lot of times inventory is on the lot for longer than it should be, and then that inventory starts turning into a commodity that you have to sell at a cheaper and cheaper price. That is actually one of the reasons why I started the company. I couldn't believe that. These are beautiful vehicles. They have so much intrinsic value in them. You match the right buyer with the right vehicle, and they're never going to argue about the price, ever. Ever. So to me, that's one of the things that I see that is so different from retail, right? And I think, one of the things that we're seeing that's really interesting now that we've launched Convoy is we watch the demographics of who goes to a dealer's site, because we're embedded on your site, right? We're part of you. And who's actually going to a national site and what the age and gender demographics differences are. So it's younger, as you would guess. When you look at when you go and look at more of a broad marketplace research approach, that age group is getting younger and it's getting mobile device heavy as opposed to desktop. So we're starting to see those kinds of shifts. Let's see, what else can I tell you?
If I can add,
Yeah.
being a panel. You remember I talked a little bit about the difference between CRM and marketing automation? This is a great example. One sale like this will pay for marketing automation in a month, right? So an example of marketing automation is when that buyer, the right buyer to the right vehicle, when that buyer is at 3 in the morning or in the afternoon looking at your site, looking at pieces of inventory, what marketing automation does is as long as you want, 1 week, 1 day, 3 months, it keeps on sniffing what this buyer is doing. And if it goes to this particular vehicle, it knows this person is probably interested in this kind of segment of vehicles, right? So it starts building a profile of that particular person, not just a category person, and it can super target that with offers that might make the person feel like they're getting a deal, but they're so much in love with that vehicle or that category of vehicle that they're going to bring that person back in. Versus if you kind of just spray and pray, that's when you start losing all this margin on it.
Well, and I think that's even more important in the B2B world,
right,
because the buying cycles are kind of random, like we've talked about, right? So you want to keep them knowing what you're doing and how you're helping them and what you have available. And
yeah, my biggest customer is Toyota Forklift, an hour away from here in Columbus. They use marketing automation. The last 4 years, they've increased their sales by $1 billion. They have 700 different variations of nurturing and segmentation, so they know exactly in a B2B environment what particular vehicle this person is really interested in, and they do not negotiate in price, and they win every time, right? And that's not a CRM. That's kind of that next level we were talking about.
And they have a big inventory, I bet.
They have inventory, yes.
Yeah. For us, let's deal with it.
Was that?
Where's the next closest dealer?
Well, they just have 70 dealers, but they also do have a lot of competition too, right?
But if they're the only guy in Toyota, you're saying forklift, where's the next Toyota forklift guy?
No, it's further away from your situation, so that makes it even more interesting to make sure that you can hyper-target in the way that I'm talking about, right? Because for Toyota, if I'm not going to get a Toyota forklift, there are there's 3 other forklift companies that I can also go to. It's not just Toyota as the only brand out there, right?
Yeah, but they have the inventory. What I like about work truck is if somebody comes to our site, they type in, they say work truck, it drops down, and when they go to cargo lanes, they see a ton of inventory. Not necessarily price, which is not what we do.
Right.
But the whole idea with the work is that they go, that person, it's a tool. It's like a hammer. That's like if you go to Home Depot to buy a hammer, that's our customer base.
Right.
That's what they need. They go there and they go, wow, these guys are in business. They know the inventory. I know that if I deal with them, they know what they're going to talk about. That's real important.
What I really like too about what you said, thank you for, I'm glad that tool does what it's supposed to for you. Yeah.
That impact.
That,
Through, they know that we have it. The leads go to the commercial department. They're dealing with somebody, and I can't tell you how many times I'm in the office and I hear, you can hear the sigh of relief when they get the person on the other line on the phone. I'm finally dealing with somebody who knows.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What I'm saying is that these work hand in hand. So when that lead goes, it will tell you what vehicles they looked at, what is their potential score between 0 and 100 that they're likely to buy, so that you can focus your energies around that that buyer more so than somebody who's just creating a lead and you just don't know anything about it. So they work kind of hand in hand.
So just so you know, we're going to be experimenting with this in the commercial space. They have Rollick actually has a marketing automation platform, and Work Truck is going to be experimenting with that. So we'll see if we can maximize it for the kind of target audience, because it is kind of like, some need to buy right away, some might be working a little bit longer. How are we going to make it the best for not only them, but also one of the things that I love is dealers. You should, as a dealership, you should figure out what kind of business, commercial business you want to do. Based upon your marketplace, you should figure out, what are your goals? We can finally start helping people look around them and saying, what else is being stocked? What's moving? What do I want to be a local dealer and focus on a certain type of business? Do I want to be a national business? What is it that I want to do as a dealer? And I think that that's going to really be something that you're going to be seeing this year happening with dealers. Yeah, AJ?
I think a little bit of this is also putting the cart before the horse as far as we're trying to educate the consumer. I think a bigger obstacle, a much bigger obstacle, is educating ourselves. Because how can we be a teacher if we need to be taught? And I can speak from the GM perspective that there isn't a whole lot of training that goes on, and it's really a self-taught business. There's no manual. And the longer you've been in the business, the harder it was to learn. Because the people that are coming in now, they're being taught, in most cases, the same way that we were taught, where it was, just kind of a feast or famine. You sold and you had a job. You didn't sell, you're not in the room. You don't work here anymore. And there's no manual from the OEM. There's really no manual from the dealership. And so in speccing out these vehicles, except for the one guy in the room, then the top right corner over here. And that's job security for him for the last 25 years. Is that because the dealers really don't have a resource other than someone like Ken that to show these deals, but he's just one guy. I mean, and his partner, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But
Will, where are you? Yep.
But ultimately, you guys and Kathryn, we had the conversation for 7 years. But
So I'll tell you what we did last 2 weeks. We've got a learning management system that we have videos that teach people how to do certain things. Not a lot of adoption. Well, 2 weeks ago, we had a contest. If you were able to get your certification and watch all the videos, you win a t-shirt. I'm here to tell you that t-shirts work in this industry. So, no, I agree. It's challenging. It's a complex, it's a complicated space. Learning it is complicated. Each dealer is unique. The products are unique. The customers are unique. But it's such an opportunity. I mean, I know watching what's happened at dealerships over the last couple of years that commercial is, in my opinion, I know service is a big opportunity, but even then, commercial between service and sales is the future to me for a dealership. If you just look at what's happening in the final mile, if you look what's happening with new categories of mobile services, I'll share with you 2 examples. My favorite is delivering, it's called a secure transport. It's a big van. It's got humidity control. It's got temperature control and a lockbox. It's to deliver cannabis, because that's needed now. Another one is delivering gasoline to your car in your driveway, a new upfit. Why? Because it turns out that the highest crime rate is at gas stations in urban and suburban markets. There's so many things happening, and this is just such an exciting space to be in as a dealer, as a body manufacturer, just this whole space. So,
the second part of it is not just learning the business, but learning the marketing space of what you guys are talking about and absorbing this stuff.
It's tough.
And you mentioned just now that trying to find the buyer that are in market. Well, fortunately for us from our job security is that the average American fleet right now is 13 and a half years old. And so if you look at across, like we'll pull pulp data on a company and see 40 vehicles and 27 of them are 2007 or older, what do you mean they're not in market? They just don't know it.
Right.
And by the time they realize they're in market, it's because of what you just said, that they woke up one morning and it's either they woke up and realized their truck wouldn't start, or they woke up to a phone call at 5:30 when one of their guys says, hey, my alternator's out, my transmission's out, my engine's out, what if, and it's like, oh, you mean the truck we've been band-aiding for the last 12 years? Yeah, you're right, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I remember AJ created a really cool model around showing a vocational customer what the ROI actually is of replacing that vehicle and not continuing to repair it. And I think that that's part of how we have to be a little more sophisticated, a little more focused on the needs of these businesses.
Yeah, I mean, in simplistic terms, right? I was so happy when I just heard and I saw a few heads nod. Say, if you can get the right vehicle to the right buyer, it's a done deal. You don't have to negotiate price that much. And of course, the expertise is huge there. I was just thinking, how do you let machines that don't really cost that much anymore constantly do this for you, right? It's, to get the right buyer to the right inventory, you also have to deliver right content to them. And, all you got to do is, instead of waiting for 12 years, can you freaking do it one more year less? And if you can, it's about winning for you, right? Yes, not everybody will get this, what I'm saying. But if you get it, you will win. It's actually low-hanging fruit for those guys that get it. That's what Kathryn was saying.
And the same thing for SpinCar. I know John and I have been talking for a while about how do we take all this beautiful, rich data and make it so that people can play with the vehicle and look inside the back. And, we're getting close to that. And we have something like 5,000 SKUs now in our database. One of the things we're going to be launching on Convoy is a directory of products and stuff like that, just to start seeing how we can engage people with that content and that product information. But we still have a ways to go. I mean, it just is complicated, right? We've got 22 vocations here. By the way, special for this group, if you look at all these vocations and you feel there's one that's missing, let me know. We will make sure that it's in the next list as we keep adding vocations, right? Not only do we have these vocations that are unique, but we also have 24 body types. All right, well, thank you guys for all your good questions and your attentiveness, and happy if anybody has questions or separately, just shoot us an email at info@worktrucksolutions.com and we'll respond and help in any way we can to have you start crawling.
Thanks.